Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Man the Maker and welcome to a new Let's Play series for Rogue State Revolution, recently released sequel to the original Rogue State from 2015. It is a political strategy simulator, city builder. The devs claim it's a roguelike. Don't really understand that, but fair enough, you know, it's their game. It's a lot of fun, basically. Let's just distill it down. We will be leading as the president, a newly founded republic born out of revolution, finally stabilized. These are the events of the first game. And now we have to kind of decide which direction our country will go to and if we will even be able to succeed in holding it together. Things can go bad very quickly. You can die. The game is seemingly meant to be repeated. Which is, I think, why the devs kind of come in with this roguelike thing. And it's even kind of baked into the essence of the game, where every time you start, it's like, yeah, you know, well, we know we're back again. There's like a little bit of meta commentary going on there. And yeah, we have to just make political decisions, use our military, enact laws and policies, manage the economy, manage our population, their happiness, the happiness of our ministers, the loyalty of our ministers, all these kinds of things swirling together. And it can be quite challenging, and it can definitely be a lot of fun. So without further ado, I mean, we're just going to go ahead and dive into a new game. I have played a little bit before. Nonetheless, we are going to do one Teach Me How to Play. It's not easy mode, we promise, though that's an option too. We're not going to set it to easy mode, but we will do this because it does kind of give you a little bit of early guidance in the game, which is useful for me. I mean, I've played it once for a couple of hours, but also really probably does a better job of explaining things than I could. So why not take advantage of that? Yes, this is a gentle start, strongly recommended for new players. This is basically what we're looking for, right? It just kind of opens up things slowly, a little bit more slowly, but believe me, things are still interesting and still a lot of fun. So without further ado, we're not going to change anything here. We're just going to keep it on normal difficulty. And we're going to go ahead with Mr. Maker. Boom. This is the history of Basenji. Not really going to have time to read it ourselves because when it's done, it just loads up. But you can feel free to pause it. Well, that ended badly. Somebody must have poisoned my tea. I bet it was that janitor. I see how he looks at me. Inauguration day. Again. This time I must do better. So you see, like, it's kind of part of the game where you are the character, the president, and every time you lose or die, you start over here.
In Basenji today, there is a mood of jubilation. As thousands crowd the streets in celebration. The first ever democratic election in the People's Republic of Basenji is a success. 5 years ago, the monarchy was replaced by a transitional government. And now, finally, after great struggle, democracy has come to Basenji. For the first time in their turbulent history, both Basenji and ethnic Karifi are voting for a government of their choice. 12 political parties campaigned, representing a wide political spectrum, with the largest, the Basenji Nationalist Party, sweeping the election with 72% of the vote.
Good morning, Your Excellency. My name is Sabriya. I have been assigned as your political strategist.
And I am Yusuf. I will be serving as your military attaché.
The first task before you is
Turn
to
the volume
appoint
up a little
cabinet
bit for you.
roles for representatives from across our great nation.
These are critical positions.
Maybe a little more.
Once appointed, cabinet members are constitutionally protected. They cannot be removed from office.
Very
Indeed,
important.
you will be stuck with these ministers, for better or worse. I would advise you listen to their needs.
And I say look for loyalty. There will be hard days ahead. We will need a cabinet that is on our side, no matter what.
Okay. First order of
Excellent.
business. I will
It's time for us to
lower the volume again.
for building Basenji's glorious future.
Okay, appoint cabinet. First step, we have to pick our cabinet. These are all of the ministers that we have available, and we can put them into 4 different positions. The Ministry of Development, responsible for transportation, health, education, and networks. Ministry of Defense, responsible for armed forces and intelligence agencies. The Ministry of Finance, responsible for taxation and the regulation of your people's financial behavior. Sorry, I got distracted because, okay, outside of the game, in my real world, about 10 minutes ago, we had gray skies and it was relatively unremarkable outside. And then I look and we have blizzard-like conditions. Snow pouring down, you can barely see anything. And I was just distracted because the sun has decided to cast itself upon my monitor. And it's there's a little bit of snow on the ground and the sun is out. So, welcome to Hamburg. Alright, let me close the blind so I can actually see my screen and go back to it. Your people's financial behavior, yes. And last but not least, the Ministry of Natural Resources, responsible for policies pertaining to energy and natural resources. These are not the only ones. There are more, but these are the ones that we start with because we selected limited start. So it's going to kind of like drip feed our choices in so we don't get a little bit overwhelmed right off the bat. I'm appreciative of that. Now we've got a bunch of people. You can see they each have something to say. He is frugal and cunning, right? Everyone is going to have 2 traits, as well as belonging to certain factions: conservative religious, liberal, secular. As you can imagine, doing certain things will make them happy or sad. They will have certain requests based on this. They also have these things up here, but I actually don't know how to read that. I think maybe that's like their political party, and then pious and tactless, maybe? I don't know why the open palms is tactless, or yeah, okay. I actually don't know at all what those things mean. Fair enough. All right, first we got Aziz over here, conservative religious. Construction costs lowered for buildings related to his ministry. So that's pretty nice, right? We might want to use that, for example, for Ministry of Development or Ministry of Natural Resources. He cannot do Ministry of Defense. He exchanges favors for 10 intelligence. And he's cunning. He may alter policies in his ministry randomly without consent. That can be pretty annoying, right? He can just kind of change how the government works. Everyone, you can exchange favors for intelligence or for cash, right? That's what it says there, and people have different values. Up next, start with 3 favor points. Exchange for 8 intelligence or $100. So right off the bat, we can see, okay, interesting. We can gain, 300 basically. You can also use favors for other things, I believe. I kind of don't remember always what they are. So tactless. The loyalty of all other ministers will drop by 1% every 5 months. That sucks. Loyalty is very important. Very important. Inspiring. Civilian units to his department get a free upgrade. Interesting. He's also poor health. Minister can die at any time or not at all. Does not give a lot of money for favors, but does give a lot for intelligence. I kind of like him. Poor health doesn't really matter to me. I mean, if they died at any time, I don't think that really does anything bad. Civilian units specific to his department get a free upgrade. That can be useful. For example, we put him here because the Ministry of Natural Resources do get prospectors. I don't know what a leveled up prospector does, but you use them to go and find what kind of natural resources you have within our country. Getting a free level. I'm going to slot him in there. I also quite like him for Ministry of Development. Construction costs. Depends on what development is. Transportation, health, education, and networks. Like, which is manufacturing here? Because getting cheaper factories would be nice. But hey, cheaper hospitals and the like is pretty nice. Cunning is pretty crap. We'll put him there just for now. We don't really like you because I don't like tactless. You are resourceful. Pretty even on the intelligence and money exchange. Resourceful gives extra event options are made available for events specific to this ministry. And his unlock rate for policies is significantly slower because he is a moron. So they also handle research, and he is quite bad at it. All right, fair enough. You're popular. Increased approval from the public in his home province. Very bad intelligence and favor exchange rate. And he's selfish. Ignoring his request has a greater impact on his loyalty. So we really want to kind of listen to him when he comments. I don't really feel like I like him that much. You're a philanthropist. Her ministry operates at 0 cost. Saving money is always good. Decent exchange rate on favors. And she's an addict. No request can be fulfilled for that minister while absent. Approvals in the home province will steadily drop while absent. That's not great. And last but not least, Maverick. Siphon small money from the treasury every month, but upgrades from his department will only cost favors, never cash. And he's got no downside necessarily. So you're the only one that we can put in for military. Well, looks like you're going to do it. I mean, you could do it too, but I kind of like your frugal thing a little bit more. Unless, I mean, you can go here. Cheaper military bases and the like? No, you come out. Oh, you can't go there. It's between you two for defense. You are a moron I don't like, and you are selfish. Okay, we're gonna go with you. But, and now finance is Tariq. Upgrading. Yeah, I don't think he actually gets any bonuses to upgrading. But it's got to be him. There it is. There's our cabinet.
Very good. Know that every 12 months you may appoint a new cabinet minister for an unstaffed ministry, should you choose to do so.
So every
More
12
ministers
months,
mean
which is
more
12
opportunities to
turns,
do
basically.
Great things.
Yeah.
Excellency.
Every 12 turns, we get a new person.
I have scheduled your agenda for the next few weeks.
All
Are you
right.
interested?
I am interested in
Most
hearing my
actions,
agenda.
aside from giving orders to units, cost a single
We've
action.
got action points
The number
down
of action
here.
points available is equal to the number of ministers.
We've got 4, so of course that means that
political capital to get things done.
we have 4 action points. As the game progresses, every 12 months we're going to get a new one, right? And then we're going to get 5, 6, 7. I think it's 8. You might have 8 ministries in total by the end of things.
I've learned that our national power plant has not received
Yes, not receive fuel, and we need to make a road. So, how do we do that? We just build a road from here to here. And from here to here.
Costs 1 action point per month and treasury funds. Note that it is possible to both upgrade and build roads. Click on any road segment, including the one you just built, and select upgrade in the road menu.
Yes, we can upgrade. And frankly, this is the one that I would like to upgrade the most.
Manipulating the camera should be
Yep, I don't care about
You can
this.
Also rotate it. Finally, these after the Civil War,
Yes.
the United Nations established aid camps to distribute food rations.
So we have these 8 camps scattered about our nation. I mean, first of all, like, let's just kind of zoom out a little bit. Here is our nation. Can I actually move this? No. This is our nation. Nice and square shaped. Isn't that nice? Against the sea over here, you have neighbors. Chechenistan, Babelistan, and Zarbil, our neighbors over here. We're going to have to deal with them in different ways. Our different provinces all have different problems. You can kind of see them briefly over here, which we're not going to touch on just yet. And we're going to have to do things to kind of make them all happy and deal with it. Karif here is particularly notable because we have Basenji as our majority population, and then we have an ethnic minority in Karif. And this, of course, is a cause for contention, and it's something that we were going to have to deal with. Well, for now, we know we've got these UN camps to distribute food rations to our people.
To produce our own food and not rely on
They also actually make some problems. You can see here, it actually drops prosperity amongst other things. I don't actually know what that is. But you want me to grow some food.
Agricultural fields can only be placed on green terrain.
Construction.
The right sidebar,
Agricultural field.
From there, choose the agricultural field. We will need to ensure that there is a working population available wherever we place.
Yeah. We can see our workers are here. This grows over time slowly, but it is somewhat limiting. For now, I mean, I'm just going to, I think, build a farm. But we've got the workers. We are now producing more than enough food.
Basenji cities will demand more than just food to stay content.
Indeed, and these things are all
Urban
listed
citizens
over
will
here,
purchase these
but we
goods
won't
from
worry about it
state-run
again
producers
just
and put
yet.
money back into our treasury. As food supply increases, you can dismantle
Yes,
the
we
UN
can
camp.
dismantle
I
the
would
UN
suggest
camp.
doing this only once.
Removing UN aid workers will come with severe penalty to our
For now,
diplomatic
though, I think we
relations.
can weather it. Click on a UN camp and dismantle.
Right, we can
it now.
dismantle, lower diplomatic influence for 7 months. Done. But it increases prosperity in a region, which is nice.
To build a second agricultural field to support the anticipated
we
growth
could
in
build
our city's
more.
demands next year.
Or
Alternatively, we could address the health crisis currently facing.
Probably we will do
South.
both.
Constructing a regional hospital adjacent to a
Yeah,
city
you can
suburb
see up here,
would
this
provide
province,
immediate
which
care
is
for those
Saba.
wounded during the Basenji civil war. The choice is yours.
Yes, we can now
Future-proof
choose.
your-
I understand. Okay, you're kind of graying everything else out. You can see here that Saba's got very, very poor health, which means people are going to be pretty upset about things. Well, I am going to definitely take care of this. It costs 38 bucks. We can see our money here. It takes 10 power. It costs 8 intelligence. Does it really? Huh. And takes. I actually don't know what the one there is. Maybe I'm not sure. Oh no, that's workers. Sorry, this is intelligence. It costs 8 workers. We will definitely be building a hospital here though, and we will put it next to Kaluuya. And yeah, we'll put it there. This will in turn
Well done, Excellency.
boost that up a little
Thank
bit.
you for putting your faith in me.
Workers and power.
You may have noticed that buildings consume both workers and
Yes,
power.
getting more
Get
workers
some
hour is a
power.
much bigger
For now,
problem.
It is prudent to spread
Yes.
your buildings out between.
Great.
Sabria, apologies for the interruption.
Yes,
The
Sabrina.
military is in a state of disrepair, and I must insist.
We must construct a military base. Sure. I'm probably going to put the military base right smack in the middle in my capital region. Or again, I don't know if it's actually the capital region, but it's a major region. In grasslands or desert. Okay. Boop. Because it's kind of on the border. Alright. You use up all our actions for this month. Great. Don't actually know what this radius thing is around there, but that's fine. We are out of turns. You can see the darkness has come. The night is here. Let's move on to the next turn.
Good morning, Excellency.
And good morning.
Yusef, the local news is reporting something different.
Yes, there's something
An
strange
industrious
happening.
shepherd appears to have hybridized a bunch of old cars to produce an armored bipedal tank.
Sure. Game doesn't take itself too seriously.
I may have made a big mistake.
You have a mech to deal with.
Why would anyone do that?
Because it's awesome?
I swear that sounds like Archer, but fair.
Hello? Can anyone hear me? I am stuck inside this armored
I've
bipedal
lost system
tank.
control.
Although this is probably also a threat to our national security.
But we can recruit military units to deal with it.
Military units.
I mean, to train
All
military
units have a
units.
role to
I
play.
understand. They all have different roles, right? This is the cheapest one. Right, great. Vulnerable until fully promoted. Mortars are good at killing infantry from far away without getting attacked back. Tanks are tanks. You know, they're good at basically everything except dealing with airborne. And then airborne is nice because they're very fast. But only okay at fighting each other. Great at fighting armor. And yeah, but they're countered because, well, we can't see it now, but there's also Sam. I will build myself
Order our
a
troops
helicopter.
to disable the civilian bipedal tank by first clicking on the unit.
All you gotta do is right click.
Dragging a line to the target.
Boom. Done. Easy peasy. Disable the bipedal tank is done.
We have pulled the very frightening
We made a
shepherd
little bit
from
of cash from that, which is always nice. Yes.
Well, excellent.
We can introduce our ministries. Let's go to the Ministry of Finance. We can set our tax policy. Yeah, liberals hate it.
Our nation's liberals will have
Right now we're on a proportional tax system, but we are going to switch that over to progressive. Now, and one thing I do wish it would tell you, we are anticipated to lose between 2 and 8. I don't think this actually
good.
changes
Let's
it.
check in now with the
1 and
ministry.
7, it did a little bit. Okay.
Over time, a minister will research new policies. for
Yes,
our nation.
this is also the research screen. What do you know?
They routinely bring.
The minister is of the view that we might be able to learn something from this.
Yes.
You can choose which policy.
We can learn how to make the bipedal tank if we want.
Choose a policy opportunity for the minister of
Or
defense.
we'd have to build a secret facility. So now we kind of have to decide, all right, well, with our Ministry of Defense, what are we going to work on here? There's a lot of different options, things that just make yourself better at fighting, just straight up. So conscription, for example, I mean, it doesn't explicitly tell you, like, it's not like a numbers bonus, but we can kind of imagine universal conscription. So you research it and then you can put it into effect. At least for some of them. Some of them are just like they come in and then they turn on. Air-to-surface missiles mount on our helicopters have additional range, but it costs a little bit of money. Chemical weapons. Extreme sanctions from the international community. We probably don't want that. Higher level infantry units are better against tanks. Psychological warfare. Extra damage against units that are supported by foreign powers. Forced relocation. Rate of civilian relocation in provinces with worker shortage is tripled. And a military unit will lose loyalty for every turn that a civilian is relocated. Yeah. Veteran benefits. Just military units increase their loyalty, because that's a thing, but it's expensive. We can make ground-based lasers to destroy meteors. Great. Manchurian candidate. Occasionally, citizens spontaneously turn into tier 3 intelligence officers. That's a very high level, but rule of law plummets, which is not great. This allows us to more sneakily build nuclear weapons. This allows us to eventually make bipedal tanks. Temporal displacement, building on the secret research. Yeah, this one... Alright, we should probably just read this. The rest of the world's physicists dismiss our theories as junk science, but surely the potential outweighs the cost. Perhaps experimentation with this technology is somehow responsible for your perpetual returns to your first inauguration day. Or perhaps your condition is what will make this machine possible. You can only hypothesize. So interesting stuff. Recon training, just everyone gets +1 sight range. This is a special task force for responding to certain things. And then cyber division. Catastrophic failure of all cyber missions on the clandestine site. I mean, we don't have a clandestine site just yet. I kind of like this. It's just free and it doesn't work. I mean, there's no downside to it. We're just going to pick it for that reason alone. This one is also pretty good because we have helicopters, but it does cost something. Something that we will keep. We're taking in a lot of information right now. You know what I mean? So let's try and keep it as simple as possible. If we don't tell them to do something, they will just do something randomly. And they may just totally change their minds if they are not loyal. These guys are all content, so they should listen.
We should suggest policy opportunities for the remaining 3 ministers.
Indeed, indeed. Ministry of Finance now. Let's take a look at you. State investments. Allow you to invest treasury surpluses and secure the future of our people. I do quite like this one. We can also do super notes. Yeah. Basically, we could just start counterfeiting money for 8 additional money per turn. We can have casinos here. Offshore banking. A little bit of extra money. Legal immigrants are happy. Prosperity goes up, international security goes down. We can regulate cryptocurrency, make a little bit of cash, but lose prosperity. Tax credits permits greater financial investment in the provincial business subsidies budgets than previous limits. Don't really know what that means. Meanwhile, we could do elder workers. We could put our workers, our old people to work. Set up something for whistleblowers. Less chance for corruption. Better rule of law, but prosperity and public safety go down. And it costs money. Relax building codes. Repeal overtime laws. Allow for or require food truck permits. Legalize youth labor. Do workers' compensation. This can go up, but increases health access by quite a bit. We could prohibit unions. I'm going to go right off with state investments. New option in the budget menu allow you to invest treasury surpluses and secure the future of our people. I kind of like that. And again, it's something that doesn't really have an inherent downside, so I feel pretty chill about that. We can, of course, always change these things. We can just straight up authorize the use of torture. Gives additional intel, but I don't think we're going to do that. Gray areas. Yeah, international security goes up. Rule of law goes down, costs money, and gives us intel. We haven't even touched on what intel does, but we'll get there. And this one just makes everything a little bit better. Well, we'll keep this one for now, I think. Next up is natural resources. I really quite like the solar power. Right? Pollution is a thing in this game. There's also hydropower, wind power, and infrastructure renewal. We can also then just do other things like deregulate fishing, green economy, strip mine, ecological impact surveys, electronic waste recycling, vehicle inspections, and the carbon market. I think we're going to go straight up with something like solar power or hydropower first off. Let's go with solar power. Because we are going to need power soon. And we are in the desert. So solar power seems good. We can also change it from consume, everything is fine, to ration. Entertainment and prosperity goes down, but environment and climate leadership goes up. Okay. Again, we don't really know what half of these things do, but it doesn't matter, right? You can kind of guess. Basically, there's 2 things. I'll just say it quickly. You got these, which are internal. And then we've got things like, where was it? Climate leadership, which affects our international reputation. We're not going to change any of this. Exploitation, prosperity, conservative approval, or we can boost this out, but resource producing construction costs increased by 50%. Ugh, that's rough because we're going to be relying on resources quite a bit right now. And last but not least, we've got development. We're prioritizing cars right now, which is fine. Eventually, we're going to want to switch some of these things, but for now, we don't worry about it. There's also, of course, telecommunications, internet censorship. I can get rid of that. That's fine. I mean, we're just going to leave it as it is, I think, and not worry too much about it. Here we can do toll roads, bus fleet, electric charging stations. We can do spaceport, deregulate taxis, tunnels, internet surveillance, privacy laws, a spectrum auction. We can sell off ability to broadcast, rural internet access. Here I'm not so sure about. I mean, bus fleet, I think I like the bus fleet. Makes a lot of people happy. And environment especially goes up, which is actually pretty damn useful. We're gonna chase after this one.
Research will be conducted faster when the minister has a great deal
Indeed.
of respect.
Happiness affects the
And
research.
Excellency, our economy is pretty very good.
And now we can look at our
I've got some
budget.
more ideas on how we can increase our national treasury.
Indeed, how can we?
A lot of things outside of our
By
control.
slashing our budgets, of course.
Inflation, the price of commodities, our transportation infrastructure.
Yeah,
So,
everything is
lowering
here.
Provincial expenses helps a little, but it will also take its toll on the
General
Let's look at
well-being,
these ministry
indeed.
Expenses. You may
Yeah.
want to change some policies in the
Development
Ministry
is
of Development.
very, very high.
Ongoing unit maintenance costs or something.
I don't actually know how to change the policies of the Ministry of Development. Yes, we can take
Best
loans.
way for us to have nice things. We may need to consider
Yes, we need to establish a positive cash flow, which means we need to get this from -4 to not -4. And how we can do that? Well, we're going to look at places that have very good numbers, and we're gonna cut them. So, for example, Banifa here. Banifa, you've got very good public safety and health. Well, we don't mind then lowering that a little bit, do we? Actually, your entertainment is also very high. So we're gonna drop all those down to 5. We're going to need to drop one more. We might as well do it in Saba, where we'll also just drop public safety. And we need to get one more. So how about here in Carrick? Carrick. We can also drop your health down. We'll deal with these later, right? We want them to be a little bit higher, but for now, as long as they're not red, we're pretty happy.
we should create a surveyor unit to scout for new resources.
Create a surveyor unit for new
Resources
resources.
will eventually make it possible.
Of course.
Click on the palace at Mijimura by either finding
There's the
it on
palace.
map
We have to
or
train
clicking
a
on the
resource
census
surveyor.
button at the bottom.
Boom.
Excellency, we have used up all our actions.
We can take a quick look at this guy. He should be now level 2. He should be level 2. Tier 2. What does tier 2 do actually though? Not so sure, and it doesn't exactly tell us here. Only assured resource deposits are visible. Can pass through or end their turn in a city. It does not say. Which is a little bit of a shame, but actually we are out of turns. So we'll just go ahead and end the turn. Boop.
Good morning, Excellency.
Good morning.
Click on the surveyor you've just
The
made
surveyor.
and all the potential resources.
There's a possible resource deposit located nearby, and we want to go and survey it. So right here,
Very well.
we're going to move him as close as he can.
Excellency.
Okay.
Excellency.
You
Very well.
can actually get one closer.
Excellency.
And now we can survey. I probably could have done it from there. And there's an oil deposit. Delicious.
Another oil deposit. Well, this is helpful.
Great.
Let's build a new refinery.
Let us build a new refinery. So we're
Select
just
one
going to
from
go.
the construction menu.
Pop that down. I understand. Of course, we
Now
need to
our
connect
nation
it
has
to
two
a
oil
road.
One is sending oil to our power plant. Perhaps we can sell the oil from the
Okay,
south.
first one we go to diplomacy.
Relations
Hey,
with
new
other
screen,
nations
folks.
can be tricky.
Here are the
If we
other
can maintain a
nations.
strong, positive relationship, we can mutually prosper.
So you can trade, you get nice things when they're friendly with you. If they hate us too much, they will invade us. It's happened to me before, it's not great. Pardon me.
Our relationship will depend greatly
You can also see here,
which are not immediately known to us.
These are the influencers. Also can piss them off or make them friendly. And down here are the international stances, right? So boosting these things up, having them go down, can have different effects on different things, allow you to do different things. All kinds of different possibilities are out there. You know, you can become an international pariah, and maybe that lets you be more powerful internally, but you might have a lot of problems dealing with external nations. You might have less options in doing some things. You can spend research to unlock international issues, segments of the society. You can also see there we got how much they like us and whether they are stable or not. Unstable nations can probably cause problems for us.
In addition to their relationship with us,
They also have their own internal stability. Yeah, we can get a lot of refugees and other challenges.
take notice as well of the three
major
If
powers.
any one of these powers sees us as a threat to them,
Yep, they can do terrible things to us.
possibly win. On the
Though
other
they
hand, if
can
we can
also maybe make an alliance with one
Let's
of
see
them.
if any of our neighbors happen to have an interest in this.
Hey Zarbil, we've got a polite
Once they're on the
relationship.
phone,
Maybe
let's
you would like to
negotiate
trade
trade.
with us.
Then
Hello,
make it
King
on.
Najia Hassan. We will negotiate a trade. We're going to trade you some oil. We can do 60. And we have to build a road connection to Zarbil. Propose. Great, that's going to
Not
bring
bad
in
at
some money.
all. We'll need to make sure there's a road connection between the oil refinery and
And we will need to make sure that there is a road connection. And what we're actually going to do is just build a road connection. Yeah, straight through here.
Excellency, we have
I
used
think is a
up
good
all our
idea.
actions.
All of our actions are used up. The refinery is connected. We're going to now make money. You can see 11 and 21. We're actually making quite a bit more money just by having connected that. And we can end the turn.
Good morning, Excellency.
Good morning.
Very good. Make sure your
Yep.
surveyor.
Surveyor needs to go places. We also need a facility
Resource
inspector.
producing.
So let's go ahead and hire a facility inspector.
The facilities inspector has an action that allows you.
You
to
can eliminate
Surveyors,
corruption.
facilities inspectors, and clerics can consume an action point.
Yes,
to
you can
double their
consume it.
distance.
An action point to move faster.
Sabria, upon intelligence reports that small
There are rebels here.
The Basenji Liberation Front. They're a
What could
small
they want? Yeah.
reports indicate they are
We
armed
must respond in
and
force.
fiercely loyal to sending units on suicide
Yes, we do not want to send units on suicide missions,
and making our nation into a
because this can really
Every
hurt
unit
us.
can only attack once per month.
So what we're going to need to do, basically, is buy more units. Into mortar, I think. And now, we're going to attack. So mortar. You can move up and attack this insurgent, I believe. Boom. And we can even see... I can't do it anymore. You can see how much damage we do to particular units. We cannot attack SAM units. We deal 1 damage to everything except armor, who we actually totally wreck. Yeah, mortar deals 2 damage to lots of things, but cannot attack helicopters. And now we just move up a little bit. Looks like we cannot reach you. We do have... We can do additional movement, so... Let's do it. We can use that last action point to double our movement, allowing our tank to get into range. We did take damage there. And they will probably counterattack us.
Good morning.
They did not. Well, in that case, we're going to finish this thing off right away. Done.
Great work, Excellency. It would be prudent to have forces spread throughout.
It would be prudent. It's very necessary to do
Important
that.
as our national defenses.
Stay in power by balancing the different interests of liberals and conservatives, religious and secular, urban and rural.
Let's start by examining how we are doing, province by province. The upper
Boom.
graph shows your
Information.
by demographic over the past 10 months. If they get too displeased, with
Yes,
you,
we can track this stuff. They get too displeased, the rebels may be emboldened.
The lower graph shows that province's ratings for prosperity, education, health, safety, the environment, and entertainment.
Keeping these
Keeping
all from
these
getting too low is going to be
low.
crucial,
In many
indeed.
provinces, our environmental ratings are
Environmental
falling.
ratings
Fewer
are
gets particularly
falling.
low. Let's talk about what we can do about that. Go ahead and click anywhere to close the provincial detail panel. Traffic congestion can be restricted.
Traffic is a huge problem. Let's check on the traffic lens. Hello.
It appears that traffic is not currently a bottleneck for us.
Not a
With too
problem,
many
but it will be
industries
soon.
export goods on the same roads, you will eventually want to upgrade those roads by clicking
Environmental
on the
rating can increase funding to conservation. You can also conduct a natural preserve or public gardens to improve your environmental rating, which have a larger one-time cost.
nationwide level. We can make some
You can also do some policy changes, such as rationing power or switching from exploitation to stewardship.
There is no one way to accomplish anything.
And the choice is ours. So, your environment is very bad in Carrick. Pollution? No. Attractiveness? No. Carrick, you're here. So, since you got such terrible environmental situations, I think what I will do is I will build myself something for the society. We can do public gardens, gives entertainment and environment. Cost 20. That's obvious. It's upkeep. No power, no workers. Nature preserves, cost power and workers. They give +2. Also costs a lot more. But over time, I mean, this will cost us more over time, won't it? Except for the whole power thing. I think we're going to go ahead with the nature preserve here. And just slap it down. This is where we want it to be in, right? Carrick, yes. A nice, glorious nature preserve out in the desert.
Good. It will take time to see the results of these improvements.
Actually, it doesn't. This
As
one
an
happens
option
immediately.
forward, I would suggest you think about building more agricultural fields, a plastics factory, and a manufacturing plant with a view to getting processed food production online before your citizens start to demand it.
Yes, indeed.
Notice the resource production and demand
Boom.
icons on the right sidebar. The
How much we're
user
producing
defines
is on the
products.
left.
The right number
and on the
represents
right
how much of that good is demanded by our
That's how much is
citizens.
demanded.
It's possible. This is how we make money.
Indeed, we want to
Tax
sell
dollars will not be
products.
Processed food should come first. Hold the mouse over the processed food is going
Boom.
to require more
Processed
farms,
food.
more
You
oil
can see
refineries,
our
a
chains
plastics
here.
Factory and a manufacturing plant. We will also need them all connected by roads.
Indeed.
Thankfully, we already have extra oil that we're exporting. If you
Indeed.
construct a plastics factory and a manufacturing plant and connect them to the road network, the oil will automatically be diverted to
Indeed.
plastic
So
recycling.
you want me
Send
to
our surveyor
build
to seek up new deposits.
a plastics factory? Doesn't really matter where you build it. It's more about the workers, which I might as well just put it in the place where we just kind of pumped up our environment. So we could put this down here. Plenty of workers. Plastics factory is up. And a manufacturing plant. We can put that perhaps here. Must be adjacent to a town. Very good. Nope. I said I don't want you to actually build that. How do I change this? What? Did I just screw myself? I really don't want you.
Fantastic. Any food or processed food purchased by our citizens or by other countries is money that goes straight into our pockets. Keep an eye on your production chains.
Are you
As
doing the right
important
thing?
as
Did
our
it fix it
economy
for me?
is, You might also want to consider as a longer-term
okay,
goal,
yes.
trying to grow our intelligence capabilities.
Indeed, we will need intelligence agency.
Finally, keep an eye on your work account. Immigrants are valuable.
Immigrants,
members of our
yes.
society, but if our relations with their country of origin go poorly, we
Indeed.
can expect their approval of our government to falter as well.
So we have to be careful with immigrants coming in if we expect things to not be
I
super
know
great
that
for us in
there
the
are
future.
certain emergency measures.
Yes, we can relocate
I think we
population.
bombarded our glorious leader with enough.
Let's go. Okay. Produce 80 processed foods a turn or train an intelligence agent. Okay, well, we've got one move this left. One move left this turn. We are going to move our surveyor around now to go and find some things. Probably I will want a second surveyor. Because what I usually find is that it's better to just get it all up as quickly as possible. Spend the money on him. All right, we're going to send this one out here. And build a second one. And then we can send this guy in this direction. And we're out of moves.
Excellency, these numbers represent civilian and
Yes, we do have military and civilian units, indeed. Our facilities inspector, for example, can go to some places that we have open. And this will reduce corruption, which I haven't even looked at, but we can see here it's got 2% corruption. Basically, you just kind of lose a little bit of production as the corruption goes higher. So you're going to want to move that guy around and always kind of inspect facilities. And I think that's going to be it for this episode. Really, really excited about getting into the meat of the game. I mean, we've only just barely touched on setting things up. We're going to spread our army around. We need to build a lot more military units. We need to build a lot more infrastructure. We're going to have to upgrade roads. We're going to have to deal with a lot of problems coming our way. Getting our economy thriving, mass producing enough processed food to sell some would be nice as well. We don't have any demand ourselves just yet, but that will come. Hopefully we can find something like gold out here, and maybe we could turn that gold into something to also export. You can make a ton of money doing something like this, like jewelry, luxury goods. These are all going to come. We're going to play this all the way through until we win or we die. And I hope you guys stick around for that as our journey to bring this rogue state having come right out. Where are we a rogue state? Not yet. Might we become one? It's entirely possible. I mean, for now, we're just trying to get our feet on the ground and see how things go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you want to see more videos, hit the subscribe button and the bell. It does help out the channel a lot. I'm very grateful. It lets me know also, that you do, in fact, like what's going on here. If you got any questions, if you want a backseat game, put it all down below in the comments. I am actually very happy to receive tips for this game. I don't know it so well. Pretty quick at learning these things, but I'm gonna make a lot of mistakes. So tell me the mistakes I've made, and I will definitely read those. And that's gonna be it for this episode. Once again, hope you guys enjoyed it. And until next time, my name is Man the Maker. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful day.